What's going on, everyone? This is East Coast Blacks here again for TML F4 here at Britain. And yeah, so little update. Won the last race in Monza, sprint race, fastest lap in the sprint race, and the race itself did not get fast lap in the race, as I said in my Twitter update. So yeah, my bad on that. Didn't get it. Little mistake there, but it's all good. So yeah, as we are here in Silverstone, second in the championship at the time, Jelly did not show up again. So we actually can put another 30 points on him. The gap right now is 17 points as we enter this race. As you see a Haasman out there, we could get it up to a maximum at the end of this race, 47 points. So we need 48 points actually, because we can get the race win and fastest lap, which would be 31 points. And as you know, fastest lap is 1 point, and with little different standings in this league, 25 would be or 30 would be the race win. So, and then there's 10 in the sprint race, and you know, yeah. So, you know, qualifying, this track was definitely one of my weak spots. I always struggled here. I always just spun out the car here, and I never could figure out why. But here, I've kind of built a knack for it. And, you know, this game is a little trickier, especially in this corner. Like this corner, I just lose all the grip I have. I really have to take it easy on the pedal. And, you know, it just doesn't really feel that good to me. It really feels like I lose like a lot of time through there, which I am. I'm pretty sure I am, because I cannot get through the gas. You know, going to third to fourth to fifth is just feels like I'm losing so much time, because the car kind of just stalls out because of the fifth gear. But in fourth gear, like, I can get out the corner really good, but it just depends on how much the car is giving me grip. But as you see here, we are fastest in sector 2. And right now we are trying to increase our gap, because at one point I think we were actually up 8 tenths on second place, but right now I think we are around 3 tenths. And yeah, this lap wasn't the complete best, but it wasn't a bad lap. You know, it got me, well, it was a bad lap, but it was good enough for pole. As you see me here trying to warm up the tires, I actually spun out, and yeah, so the rears are definitely heat up now. And as we are coming to take the green for the final lap, I know there is a lot of time in this lap, and you saw me nearly spin out there, and we are already down nearly, well, yeah, we are down to 10th. But going through the first turn, you can see here, we spin out because the tires are just way too hot, and Sidegate coming across the line does not beat us. So so we do get pole. Our teammate Silas is 11th, which is, you know, pretty good for him. You know, just improving bit by bit. You know, he's been a tough season for him with so many DNFs, not a lot of points. And, you know, I told him after this race that I will try to help him, you know, a bit, trying to get, you know, try to learn a little bit more with the setups, kind of get a grip for it, and, you know, just try to work on himself. So as you see here, I actually was turning the fuel down. But I said, you know what, I'm in the championship battle. The championship leader's not here, or second in the championship's not here. Let's not worry about that. So lights out, and away we go. And I did not get a very good start, because there's actually a lot of medium runners behind me. And because most of the field went for mediums, I went for hards, as per usual. I don't think I've ever started on the mediums on this game. So yeah, so now the best thing we can do is for the first 2 or 3 laps, just wait for the tires to heat up and stay with Sidegate. That is our plan. But as you see here, Steve is trying to battle me, and I honestly don't want to battle him right now, because I feel like that, you know, I feel like me having to push a little bit more is just gonna kind of make me spin out. You know, I wasn't really feeling pressure, but I was definitely feeling him there, you know, because I don't really feel pressure. I just try to, you know, do the best I can, and knowing that is all I can do is just do the best I can. And you know, so right now I'm trying to make sure he doesn't get sorry, I'm trying to make sure he doesn't get anywhere close, but I do mess up the end of Magus and Vegas, and you can see here he is attacking me, but with the setup we are running extremely quick in a straight line. And that is the thing I have noticed about this game, is that you are going to be very hard to overtake no matter the tires. As long as you don't make a mistake, if you have more straight line speed than the car behind, then you are pretty much good to go. So you can see us here coming on lap 2. I look behind, and Steve is actually around, so for me that is really good because that takes him off and I can breathe a little bit and not worry about having to keep a car behind me while trying to keep up with another one. So on this lap you can see we are in the DRS, which is pretty big as we want to be in the DRS. And now coming on to lap 4, you know, we're just cruising behind him, pick up the throttle, and coming to the front stretch, we actually spin the tires and I lose DRS. So now I have to use the battery to catch back up because I know I'm extremely quick in a straight line, and he was doing his best to try and keep me out. And you can see I got back in of the DRS, but I actually had lost it again because now I'm so low on the battery, and he didn't really push as much as I did. So now I have to, you know, just spam every straight and hope that I can get into it. But since I'm so low, there's really nothing I can push with to kind of get me in comfortably in his 1 second range. So you can see here we're still fighting very hard to try and stay with him. And you see there we did not get DRS as we are coming onto this. I think it's out of Warfield, I think. I'm not quite sure. But heading into Cops, you can see me, I'm on the battery, and coming through Cops, you can see he does run a bit wide, but we gain a lot of time, and yeah, we get back into the DRS. And I think from this point on, I stayed in the DRS as hard as it was, because now at this point our tires are starting to get a bit even. And you have to remember, he is actually going to have to switch to the hard tires, which is going to be terrible for the warm-up. But at this point, you can see now I got my battery back up, because I could have passed him a long time ago, but I wanted to get my battery up just so I could push when he pits and built my gap even more. So you can see here going through Cops, you saw me use a little bit of battery coming onto the straight to get as close as I can, because now this is where I want to get by, because I know once I go by at this point he's going to pit. And really I probably should have been forcing him to pit as early as I could, but I knew his tire warm up was gonna get me in the lead. As you see him, he was actually flashing there, so that's actually worked for me as we take the lead. And honestly, I said earlier about the fuel that I was taking it safe since my championship rival's not here. You know, let's just take it safe. And yeah, I'm actually kind of glad I did. So this lap was, I believe, the lap we were set to pit, but we actually didn't pit. It was either this lap or 16. Yeah, I think it was actually 16, as you see me get a warning there. You know, we did not pit, and now we actually pit on lap 17. You also can see Sidegate has a 5-second penalty, so he actually sped into the pit lane. I noticed that once he entered it, and I was like, that is actually good for me, because now he's going to lose a lot of time, because he's looking at losing a good 10 seconds probably on this stint, maybe a good 5-10 seconds. This depends on how his pace is. So he's definitely going to get overcut. He's more than 28 seconds behind, so he's definitely going to get an overcut or undercut. Yeah, overcut it, I mean. So yeah, like I was saying about the fuel though, I wanted just to be safe. Could have definitely saved all the fuel, I think, because the fuel was definitely looking good. I was saving a bunch of fuel like crazy, but I wanted just to be safe. I didn't really want to put myself in a bad situation in case no safety cars come out. And as you can see, there was no safety car, so I pulled the right strategy, so that's good. And now coming to lap 20, you can see we have a full battery, so now here the tires are warmed up. This is where we're going to go for fastest lap, and making sure that I don't do anything too stupid. I do want to go for fastest lap. As you see, Maximus ticket with a 1:30.7, and at this point I'm thinking let's just go for fastest lap, but not at the same time let's not screw it up, because we got a full 30 points here. So going on to coming to the main straight, we set a 1:30.1, which was 6 tenths faster. But you can see here, Kiki retires on lap 22, and there is a safety car. And at this point, I was like, no, because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what the others were gonna do, but I decided just to be safe, put the softs on, because I felt I could definitely make up the gap or pass all these cars, because I was only gonna lose probably what 4 positions, because you can see how far back everyone else is. As you see, Sidegate gets another penalty, and Ghost actually too, who is 3rd in the championship right now. We are actually racing him as well, because if he finishes this race at least in the top 5, he will be 2nd in the championship. So we're basically racing him right now, and you can see he has a 3-second penalty, which was pretty good. I was actually pretty happy to see that, because now this brings everyone back closer to him, and I don't have a penalty. So now, coming to the restart, my plan was not to use all the battery, because I wanted to get the tires warmed up. Even though it wasn't going to take long for them to warm up, I wanted them to get warmed up so I could have full maximum grip for this fastest lap. But I also knew I had to spin a bit. As you can see, we are a little bit below 70%, and we still get fastest lap. But we had to hold Ghost off, who was making not really close enough for an attack, but was pushing the battery a bit, and I didn't want to really be under threat, so I did have to use the battery a bit. And now this is where we push for the fastest lap. And here I'm just thinking, okay, again, let's just go for the fastest lap but not bend it. As you can see here, Ghost is actually catching me in the straight. I think he did get a little bit of slipstream, but if it wasn't a big slipstream, then he definitely has a fast car in a straight line, but it definitely wasn't by much. But I'm pretty sure he definitely got a little bit of slipstream there. So now going out of, I believe, which was left field onto the Hamilton straight, you can see here we are just absolutely, bombing it now. And going through Magazine Beckus, we absolutely nail it. We hit every apex. We got in there very good. You can see the gap, and Ghost actually picked up another penalty, and right now he will be at least P3, I believe, because Sidegate's 5 seconds. He served one of them, but yeah, he lost another, or he got another for speeding in the pit lane. So he would have been on the podium if not for that. So coming out of the final corner, we win the British Grand Prix and set the fastest lap. So max points in this race. And Ghost, you see, falls down to actually 5th place there. So we not only pulled away from 2nd in the championship, which was Jelly entering this race, which is now Ghost, but it's like I said, just extended the gap to both of them. So definitely big up today. And with 3 races remain, which is Singapore, Mexico, and Abu Dhabi, I only need 17 points maximum on everybody. On 2nd place in the championship, Jelly Ghost and Jelly. Obviously Jelly 17 points because he's 2nd in the championship, but Ghost is 17 points because he's 2nd in the championship. 2nd in the championship, but Ghost or Jelly, I can actually get, I believe, with 12 points to clinch the title, because there's 3 races left, and like I said, there's 30 points or 31 points maximum. So we need I would at least get the tiebreaker. So I know I need at least, I would think, 60 points to be champion. Yeah, or at least 30 points to be champion, and maybe one fastest lap. The 3 wins obviously help, because now we are in conversation with the tiebreaker. Because I think the tiebreaker will probably go to us now. So that is very good. We tied Jelly in wins because you gotta remember we're still racing him, and I don't think Ghost has any wins this season. So that also helps. And now the point standings. So like I said, Singapore is up next, and we have a 43-point lead over Ghost, and we need 60 points, well, 62 points really, to clinch the title. So I believe that is like a 5th place for him. So we'll see in Singapore what we can do there. But this equals blacks. I'll see you guys later.